the chair in between me and him because we've already had our stalker moment.
We don't get along.
No, it's fine. The restraining order said 5 feet, right? We're good on that. Great career, phenomenal work. We'll say you, sir, you. But I'm going to ask this question first because when people found out that I was moderating this Q&A panel, overwhelmingly, the one thing I had to hear from people over and over again.
Fucking build-up.
I'm telling you.
Are there any kids in here? Because I won't say fucking anymore.
This panel contains partial language and adult
where I hang out, we have a jar for anybody who curses. You put $1 in for the college fund, Sean. I'm going to give you 100 right now. That should cover me. Just talk amongst yourself. Okay, that's for the kid. I'm sorry, you were saying?
I was.
Who is this?
Gianluca Toro, your frequent collaborator, has been on record as saying he's open to the prospect. You are definitely open to the prospect. Can you give us any information on the next Hellboy movie?
Just if the government ever reopens, write your congressman, and you know, I've gone on record as saying that I'm at this point single-handedly trying to keep the conversation going about Hellboy 3. Simply because, and by the way, when Hellboy 2 ended, none of us, we all vowed never to go back because it was such a hard shoot, and you know, just physically, it aged me like 10 years. But once, thank you. Can I get your phone number? Once the pain, you know, subsides and you just start thinking of things, you know, in positive terms, which is generally what happens after, you know, you come through something like that. I just realized that we kind of owed the fans, you know, the resolve, you know, everything that's built up in the first 2 movies is set up for there to be this amazingly theatrical resolve. Is Hellboy going to be a victim of nurture or nature? His nature is to destroy the world, but he's been nurtured to execute good. And so I've been lobbying, and I really could use a hand. So all you people who tweet, Facebook, all that stuff, you know, let's get this thing going.
Is there actually a hashtag or
I always said that if I do a 3rd Hellboy, would probably kill me, but you know, what a way to go, baby.
Well, it's obvious that you have a fondness for the character, and if you have not seen the photos from, and we were just talking about this backstage with one of our volunteers, in 2012, there was a young man who had a make-a-wish wish that he would be visited by Hellboy. And as long as it takes for you to put that makeup on and do that and get into that character, you spent the whole day with the young man, dressed up and hanging out with him as Hellboy. So it's obvious you've got a fondness for the character. So is there something about Hellboy that speaks to you where some of your other characters, you know, might not give you that voice?
No. I've been really, you know, incredibly lucky, you know, because there have been so many characters that are signature characters. So if you just do one of the characters that I did and be known for that, you know, it's basically, you know, but there's been one after another, after another, after another, and probably Hellboy, you know, is the jewel in the crown. I'm going to start cursing again, kid. It's going to be great. You need therapy when I get done. And you know, I don't think I need to go into who he is, how he's wired, what he stands for, how he's rendered by Guillermo and Mike Mignola. Any actor would kill to play that character like that. And so to be associated with that, I hate superheroes who just never have a bad day. That they have this square jaw and they're 23 years old, fucking people. I like a guy who, he's got stinky socks and cat litter all over the goddamn place, and pizza boxes, and he's about to burn down the house because cigars are just being left, carelessly hither and thither. That's my idea of a superhero. So I got to play that guy.
There's an interesting story when you were in college and your father, who was a jazz drummer, a performer in his own right, saw one of your productions and said, you have to pursue this. Do you still have a vivid memory of that conversation? What was going through your head as your dad is saying that it's okay for you to pursue this, I want you to pursue this? What's going through your head?
Well, I think I was too young to appreciate the magnitude of what was happening at that moment. But I was being given permission to, I'm the son of depression parents, people who grew up in the Depression, and who all they wanted for their own kids was security. Go to college, get a degree, get some sort of a 9-to-5 job, and make sure that you're secure. So the idea of going into the arts was risky, and maybe a risk that people with that experience would have thought to be not worth taking. So to get permission from my dad. I was doing this production in college, and it was 4 nights. Thursday night was the first show, so I had my mom and dad and my brother and all my family come to this Thursday night show. And then on Friday night, it was just going to be my buddies and I were going to go out afterwards and get tanked and whatever. And I come out from backstage after the show's over, and I'm changed, and there's my dad all alone. I said, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, because he wasn't supposed to come. He said, "No, it's okay. I know you got company here. I just wanted to check something out." I go, "Are you sure you're okay? You're right." He said, "No, I'm heading home. Go out and have a good time." And the following day, I said, "What was that all about?" And he said, "I saw something on Thursday night. I just wanted to make sure that it was like not an illusion." So I came back, and that was when he said, you should really think about doing this. And that was college. I was 20. I wasn't even 20 years old yet. So I'm a lucky dude. No, I wasn't. I was 18 because he was dead the next year. He died when I was 19.
Did you understand how big the part of Vincent was going to be in your professional career? Because up to then you had done some bit parts in stage, a few TV supporting roles. First off, talk about when you went in to read for Vincent. Did they tell you what the process was going to be to put you in that suit or in that makeup every single day when you were reading for the part to begin with?
Well, I had just finished doing a movie which required full transformation. It was a 4-hour makeup job. It was the second movie that I had done where I required a 4-hour makeup job. So I kind of knew that whenever you're transforming somebody fully, it's 4 hours. That's, all these special effects and makeup artists got together and decided, what amount of time could we really piss somebody off? So they decided, well, any more than 4 hours, we may lose the guy. So I had just come off doing that movie, and I kind of knew if I was going to be playing the Beast, question?
Sure. When did you realize that part had really hit home with audiences? Was it a TV guide cover? Was it an interview? Was it an exposure to a fan? When did you realize that it actually was hitting home with viewers in Middle America?
Well, it was so exotic a show that I never imagined it would go beyond the pilot, and so I said yes to it. I didn't say yes, I begged, and then they said yes. It's more how it runs. It's kind of like my wedding night, but anyway. There's another Q&A for that at 10:30. I'm not having it here, by the way. What was the question? So, but I figured we do one episode, and this was way too exotic for television, especially. This was pre-cable, so this was network television. So network television is not known to take a lot of chances. You're either doing a doctor show or a cop show or a show about teachers, and that's about it. You don't do shows about a beast that lives under the streets of New York, who has this gothic romance. And when the show got picked up, I went, that's curious. Maybe more than just me likes this. But then the fan mail started coming, and I had never received fan mail of any kind. So, the idea of just getting fan mail to begin with was rather exotic and refreshing. But it was really personal stuff. It's really people talking about the effect that this character, this outcast character, was having on giving them the strength to get through their day and stuff. So I realized it was having, and it wasn't just one letter or two letters, it was hundreds and hundreds of letters like this. And then there were some letters where, people would start having fantasies about spending evenings with the beast. or afternoons. Whatever happens to float your boat. That's when I knew that's when I knew. That was what did it, yeah.
Compare some of the fan mail you got for Beauty and the Beast with some of the fan mail you get for Sons of Anarchy.
I'm going to make a confession here, and please don't hate me any more than you already do. But after Beauty and the Beast, I stopped reading the fan mail.
Was there one particular piece that said, I can't do this anymore, or was that just the whole experience?
I just realized that for some people I could never be who they thought I was. And so I abandoned the idea of needing to know what anybody thought of what I was doing. It's just important what I thought.
Do you think that you're